Monday in the Daily Movie Critics world. I'm Aiden, for those of you who don't know me, because we're still getting lots of new subscribers, so welcome to all of you. If this is your first Monday, I am Aiden. Like I said, I'm from the channel Cisco182, and today I'm here to review a movie for you to start off a brand new week, even though people sometimes think that Sunday's the first day of the week, but calendars aren't always right. That doesn't make sense. Today I'm reviewing a movie that got poor reviews. Everyone really hated it, mainly because of the ending and some of the acting. But I'm going to get into all of that after I say what movie I'm doing, but you already know because of the title. Maybe you're one of those people who's not good with names. Some people just don't know the movie names. But anyways, it's M. Night Shyamalan's 2008 film, The Happening, starring Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel. I know her name is Zoe, but who names their kid Zoe and spells it Z-O-O-E-Y? Nobody does that. That is just not right. So this movie takes place in prominently Philadelphia and New York, so generally the general northeast region of the United States. So there's some crazy stuff going on. They later identify this crazy stuff as an airborne toxin, and they get into that later on in the movie, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But the movie starts in New York City. It's in Central Park, and people are just acting weird. It just comes out of nowhere. There's 3 steps to what's going on with these people. First, they start talking weird. What they're saying doesn't make sense, or they're repeating themselves, or they're saying really irrelevant things that just have no relevance at all to what's going on. And so the second step is they're disoriented. The most common thing is they're walking backwards. So at the beginning of the movie, there's one woman sitting there on a bench, and everyone's just stopped. Everyone's just standing there in Central Park, and then people start walking backwards. And then the third step, the craziest one of all, they kill themselves. What the hell kind of disease is this, or airborne toxin or whatever? Of course, being the United States, the first thing they say, terrorists! It's terrorists attacking New York! So, things are getting pretty hectic, and then it spreads to Philadelphia, where we meet Elliot, played by Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg plays a science teacher who is married to Zooey Deschanel, whose name is Alma. Kind of also a strange name. This girl just can't catch a break, apparently. Elliot's friends with John Leguizamo, whatever the hell his name is. He plays Julian, and so the 3 of them, they need to get out of the city because people are being told to get out of the cities and get away from the wide targets that terrorists might be attacking. So they get on a train and they go to a small town, and then things just start unraveling from there. They find out more stuff about this airborne toxin. They find out what's really going on. That's the basic plot of the movie without giving too much away. Now, when I originally saw this movie when it first came out in 2008, and then I rewatched it last night as a refresher, and it's very weird because when you rewatch it, the first scene, it's like it comes down and there's a pan shot, and that first 10 seconds, you realize that they're giving hints immediately as to what the cause of this toxin is and what this movie is really all about. So within the first 20 minutes, there's clue after clue after hint after clue after hint after hint, and there's so many hints being thrown your way, and you don't realize it, of course, at all the first time you watch it, unless, of course, you're going to watch it now. You'll probably be watching, eyes glued to the screen, and trying to figure out what I'm talking about. The reason this movie got really bad reviews is because of the acting, for one, and for 2, the reason because of this toxin. Now, I'm not going to give it away because that would just be spoiling it, and that'd be a dick move on my part. But people were just like, oh, that's so stupid. Why would they make it that? And in my opinion, it really wasn't that stupid. I think that it was smart because it's something that can actually happen. Unlike some unrealistic, exaggerated, alien coming from outer space and causing all of this, like a lot of movies in the past decade. It's something that could really happen and it could happen. That's the bottom line. So that makes it a bit more scarier if you are maybe a bit of a paranoid person. The second thing that people hated was the acting, specifically Mark Wahlberg. And yes, his acting in this movie is very mediocre. If you've seen him in other movies, Four Brothers, for instance, The Fighter as of recent, he does a very good job. He's a good actor. In this movie, it's pretty mediocre. His reactions to stuff are pretty bad. At one scene, they seek refuge in this old lady's house, and she's crazy. One night she comes down, she says, I heard you talking about how you're going to kill me in my sleep. And he's like, no, we would never say that. And they didn't say that. He sounds like he's being sarcastic, and I don't know, his acting is kind of poor, but everyone fails to identify Zooey Deschanel's poor acting. Her acting is through the roof bad. Now, what I liked about this movie is it actually has some scares. When I went to see it in theaters, people were actually screaming. Now, I don't scare easy because I can always predict when things are going to happen, and I'm always at the ready, and quite frankly, I just don't scare that easy from movies unless you're at a movie theater and it's just like the loudest fucking noise ever and just unnecessarily loud, and that's the only way they can scare you because every cliche has been done 1,000 times over. But there are a few parts that are going to shock you and just come at you, and you're not going to be expecting it all because, of course, people are killing themselves, so you never know how they're going to do that. There are some interesting ways that they do show in the trailer, but there are some ways in the movie that you'll be like, oh, well, alright then. On the DVD, there are some special features you can get. There's an hour of bonus footage that isn't in the movie, of course, and there's a lot of behind the scenes. There's a gag reel, which is kind of strange for a horror movie or whatever you want to call it, a thriller, an M. Night Shyamalan movie. And that's another thing I want to mention is M. Night Shyamalan. People say that ever since Signs and The Sixth Sense, he's just kind of been going downhill. Really, his movies haven't been that bad. This movie, I'd honestly give this movie 7 out of 10. I like it. I like it so much that I bought it. Yes, I bought it used on eBay for like $5, but I still like it. And back to the special features, there's just there's featurettes, there's the trailer and stuff. So nothing huge, but there is that 1 hour of unseen footage. It includes over 1 hour of intense bonus footage not shown in theaters. So if you're into special features, this is a decent movie because that's a lot of extra footage. Not as much as Avatar, of course, but still a decent amount. Check this movie out. It's got its flaws, of course, like every movie. The acting is mediocre at times, but all in all, it's a good movie. 7 out of 10. Check it out.